अ, आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे। हमारा टॉपिक है इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड। ये बहुत ही बर्निंग टॉपिक है एंड इसके बारे में मैं बहुत दिनों से सोच रहा था इस पे एक वीडियो बनाऊं। पहले तो हम जानेंगे कि व्हाट इज़ इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड, बॉन्ड है क्या, then the basic concept behind bond, and what is the current status regarding this bond. इस बॉन्ड का क्या स्टेटस है एट दिस पॉइंट इन टाइम अभी। बेसिकली मैं तो कभी इस बॉन्ड का को फेवर नहीं करता हूँ, बिकॉज़ ये एक इंस्टीट्यूशनलाइज्ड जो कहते हैं ना करप्शन का ये अड्डा है। बिकॉज़ ये बॉन्ड जनरली द पार्टी इन पावर उसके लिए ये मतलब मनी रेज करने का एक बहुत बढ़िया तरीका है। लीगल वे में इसको रेज करने का तरीका है। तो बेसिकली जितना मैं बोलूँ उससे बेहतर है कि जो डॉक्यूमेंटेड है इसके रिगार्डिंग एंड व्हाट इज़ द करंट स्टेटस, वो आप लोग जान लीजिए। आप खुद डिसाइड कर लेंगे कि इसको सुप्रीम कोर्ट में इसको रिव्यू करना चाहिए और इसको कम्प्लीटली स्टक ऑफ कर देना चाहिए, कंप्लीट हट मतलब ये मतलब इससे यूज़लेस। और ये सिंपल ऐसा लग रहा है कि ये मतलब कोई डेमोक्रेसी में कुछ जनता का कुछ पावर है ही नहीं। बस हमने बना दिया एक कि बॉन्ड के थ्रू आप पैसा कलेक्ट कीजिए। मतलब आई डोंट हैव एनी वर्ड टू से, बिकॉज मैं एक जागरूक सिटीज़न होने के नाते ये मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि ये कोई दादागिरी टाइप का चीज़ है कि जो पार्टी इन पावर है वो ये मतलब बॉन्ड दे इशू द बॉन्ड, और जो आप और हम तो नहीं खरीद सकते हैं बॉन्ड। जो खरीदने वाले बिजनेसमैन जो डायरेक्ट इधर से पैसा लेते थे कि जैसे मान लीजिए रिलायंस जियो स्टार्ट किया, लाइसेंसिंग ईजी कर दिया, सब कुछ कर दिया। जो उसके फेवर में गवर्नमेंट ने काम किया उसके एवज में पैसा पहले इलीगल वे से पार्टी लेती थी या उससे पकड़ाने का डर था। बॉन्ड यानी आप लीगली जाइए, डिनोमिनेशन है बॉन्ड का 1 करोड़ का, 10 करोड़ का, ये ऐसे कुछ आप जाइए, वैसा वैसा 1,000 करोड़ देना है तो आप उसका बॉन्ड खरीद लीजिए, पार्टी वो बॉन्ड को एनकैश करा के ले लेगी। मतलब क्या है ये मतलब जनता मूर्ख है, पागल है क्या? तो सिंपली अब क्या मैं बोलूँ, बट वी विल डिस्कस। ये मेरा व्यू पॉइंट है। आप इसकी कॉन्सेप्ट को समझ के जैसा आपको लगता है अपना आप राय दें। तो हम स्टार्ट करते हैं। बेसिकली हम समझेंगे कि व्हाट इज़ इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड, बेसिकली बॉन्ड है क्या ये। तो इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड का कॉन्टेक्स्ट ये है कि द प्रेजेंट गवर्नमेंट, जो इससे पहले तो कभी हुआ नहीं, यही गवर्नमेंट जो है वो पब्लिक को सबसे बड़ा जो कहते हैं ना समझ, और यही एक बहुत बड़े समझदार हैं। तो इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड के बारे में थोड़ा लेते हैं, थोड़ा डिटेल एनालिसिस करते हैं। द प्रेजेंट गवर्नमेंट कंटिन्यूइंग दियर war against both the problems, black money and corruption, has proposed a set of reforms related to political funding, like issuing of electoral bond. The electoral bond are instrument securities which will be used henceforth to donate funds to the political parties. These bonds will be on the lines of bearer bonds or promissory notes, wherein the issuer bank will be the custodian and will pay the one who holds the bond, political party. The features of electoral bond and the process involved are: these bonds will be issued by notified banks. The donor may approach these banks and purchase the bonds. The donor shall be permitted to buy the bonds through check digital payment. Hence, the identity of the donors will be protected. If the donors are identified, they may get caught up in political rivalry, especially if the donor is a businessman. The donor will donate these bonds to the political party. The political party has to encash it into the account which is registered with the Election Commission of India. So, importance of electoral bond. They ensure that the fund being collected by the political parties are accounted money or clean money. Concerned with respect to electoral bonds, even though the electoral bonds scheme act as a measure against the old under the table donation, since bonds are through checks and digital payments trails of transaction, there are many key provisions of the schemes that are cause of concern. Anonymity. There is no obligation on the part of donor, individual or corporate, or the political party to reveal from where the donation comes from. Transparency. It will also go against transparency as fundamental principle in political financing. Companies will no longer have to declare the names of the political party to which they have donated. So, so shareholders won't know where their money has gone. There are possibilities of making electoral bonds a convenient channel for black money. The following provisions are controversial in that sense. Doing away with 7.5% cap for corporate donation. No need for companies to reveal their political contribution in their profit and loss statement. The requirement that companies should be in existence for 3 years before making political contribution undermines the scheme's intent. This makes it easy for dying, troubled, or shell companies to make an unlimited donation anonymously. Uh, since the bond are brought through the State Bank of India, the government is always in a position to know who the donor is. This asymmetry of information threatens to favor whichever political party is ruling at the time. The Election Commission of India has asked that the limit of reporting the donation, which is rupees 20,000, should be brought down to rupees 2,000, but instead the government has reduced the maximum contribution by cash to 2,000. It could become a convenient channel for business to round trip their cash parked in tax havens to political parties for a favor or advantage granted in return for something. Hence, there are few issues related to the usage of electoral bond. Then, what is the way out of this? As per T.S. Krishnamurthy, former CEC, the government will not know how many times the bond has been sold in the market before being encashed by the political party. Indrajit Gupta committee suggested an election fund can be set up by Election Commission and donation to various political parties are collected by ECI with compulsory PAN number. State funding of election can also be an alternative. So this is basic concept regarding electoral bond और ये पता चल ही रहा है कि this is something institutionalized form of corruption. As we know, what is the status as of now? इसके रिगार्डिंग अभी जो इलेक्टोरल 23rd फेज का जो ये कलेक्शन हो रहा है थ्रू इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स एंड टोटल अभी तक 11,467 करोड़ 2018 से अभी तक रेज हो चुका है. और यू कैन इमेजिन ये 11,467 जो करोड़ है ये द पार्टी इन पावर, क्योंकि ये तो सिंपल दिस इज़ द टूल फॉर द पार्टी विच इज़ इन पावर टू रेज मनी. ये एक ऐसा कन्वेंशन स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं जो कि बहुत ही आगे खतरनाक होगा, और कब हम समझेंगे आई डोंट नो. व्हाट इज द करंट स्टेटस regarding electoral bond? So political parties garnered rupees 676.26 crore in the 23rd phase of sale of electoral bonds between November 11 and 15, ahead of the assembly election in Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh. As much as 660.25 crore of electoral bonds, 97.63% of the bonds sold, were encashed by political party at the New Delhi main branch of State Bank of India. SBI said in its reply to the RTI application filed by Commodore Lokesh Batra, SBI is the only bank authorized to issue electoral bonds to political parties. SBI said electoral bonds worth rupees 309.45 crore were sold by the Mumbai main branch and rupees 222.40 crore by the New Delhi branch. With this, the total amount collateral by parties through electoral bonds has gone up to rupees 11,467 crore from various anonymous donors in 23 phases since 2018, when the electoral bond scheme was introduced. Anonymous donors had given rupees 545 crore in the 22nd phase sale of electoral bonds conducted between October 1st and October 10. According to data available from SBI, parties got 1,221 crore in the last 2 months and rupees 389.50 crore in the previous sale in July this year. As many as 666 electoral bonds sold in the latest phase were of rupees 1 crore denomination, indicating that high net worth individual or corporate could have shelled out the money to political parties. Meanwhile, the finance ministry allowed the sale of electoral bonds from 15 more days, 24th phase, by amending the electoral bonds scheme. The scheme was amended on November 7 to allow an additional period of 15 days for the sale of electoral bonds ahead of the Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh assembly election. The 23rd tranche of electoral bond was sold for subscription between November 9 to 15. On December 3rd, the sale of 24th tranche was notified from Monday, December 5 onward. During the second phase of voting for the Gujarat election, which will be held till December 12. According to the provisions of electoral bond scheme, only the political parties registered under section 29A of the Representation of People Act 1951, 43 of 1951, and have secured not less than 1% of the votes polled in the last general election to the House of the People or the Legislative Assembly are eligible to receive electoral bond. Several petitions are already in the Supreme Court challenging the provision of Finance Act 2017, which paved the way for the anonymous bond. Interestingly, major political parties have not officially disclosed the amount they received through electoral bonds. Further, as the bonds are sold through a public sector bank, the government would come to know who is funding which political parties. Sources said uh, gave rupees 1056.73 crore in 2018, rupees 5071.99 crore in 2019, and 363.96 crore in 2020. Rupees 1502.29 crore in 2021 and 3473 crore in 2022. SBI had said a total of rupees 763 crore inclusive of GST has been changed to the government as commission so far, consequent to the sale of electoral bonds in 22 phases. Electoral bonds are purchased anonymously by donors and are valid for 15 days from the date of issue. A debt instrument, these can be brought by donors. Debt instrument, these can be brought by donors for the bank from a bank, and the political party can then encash them. They can be redeemed only by the eligible party by depositing the same in its designated account maintained with the bank. The bonds are issued by SBI in denomination of 1000, 10,000, and 1 lakh, 10 lakh, and 1 crore. Only 25 political parties are eligible for redemption of electoral bonds. As much rupees 660.25 crore of electoral bonds, 97.63% of the bonds sold were encashed by parties at the New Delhi main branch of SBI. The total amount collected by the parties through electoral bonds has gone up to 11,467 crore from various anonymous donors in 23 phase since 2018. You can imagine what is happening in this country. Thank you.